Loreheads, and welcome to The League, exploring the League of Legends lore from A to Z. My name is Rebecca.
And I'm John.
My name is Mark.
And today we're talking about... I'm sorry. I just thought of the And My Name is Mark video. It's just like popped into my head. Anyway, we're talking about the Titan of the Depths Nautilus, who was released February 14th, 2012. We've had so many old champions lately, is it me?
I know.
Yeah.
I forget sometimes how old Nautilus is specifically.
Oh, really?
I don't know why.
Oh, I don't know. He's been in the game as long as I've played it, so forever. He's an eternity old. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember he's one of the ones whose playtest I remember.
Oh, shit.
Maybe it's because it was like, that was pretty early on in my tenure. So it was like, oh man, playtest. Oh, I get to see this new champion. Yeah, so I remember.
And I think I had bounced off playtests at that point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
John was beyond it.
Maybe I
He didn't care anymore.
So it's like, I got shit to do. Honestly. Yeah.
Has he changed much game-wise since his release?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Think of.
No, he's always had that kit, that stupid hitbox on his anchor. That's always been
Yeah.
the thing.
The swing, the wind up.
When we were doing our winning run in Riot Rumble, our jungler very consistently played Nautilus.
Yeah, when I used to play jungle, I would
between
take
Nautilus
jungle.
and Maokai.
Yeah,
Those were our two perma jungles, basically.
man. Yeah,
God.
I like Nautilus jungle. I mean, I used to. I don't know what the fuck he's like now. Maybe he doesn't work anymore. But I really liked him when I used to sometimes play jungle. Sometimes.
I feel like you could still make it work.
Anything can work, I assume.
That's fair.
He's probably got like slow clear time,
Yeah.
insane ganks.
But his ganks are sick, dude.
Yeah.
Missed my hook, but I hit my
I'll
auto
just hit
attack.
my-
So
But
You
here's
don't
my
even throw
point
the
click
hook.
ult.
Yeah, the hook is secondary. The hook is only after you hit that auto. Maybe that's it. I like playing like Rammus style too, like tanky, hyper gank junglers.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. On the universe page, he has a bio, a video called Legends of Bilgewater, which is someone reading one of his short stories. It took me a second. 2 short stories. One of them is really a misfortune story we went over. And a surprising amount of art.
Yeah.
Random concept art
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
it's got the behind the scenes for A New Dawn, though A New Dawn is not there because it's not canon anymore.
Oh, no.
That's funny. I do like that.
Yeah, it did have the concept art for that. And I was like, is he in A New Dawn? I'm trying to... Yes, he is. Yes. Okay.
How could you forget? Oh man, he steals the show.
It's
in
fucking
that
raid
thing.
boss.
Right?
Why? It doesn't have to be... I guess to put it on universe, they only want canon on the universe. But that can't be right because there
Right.
are so many stories that were like, this doesn't fit at all anymore.
Yeah, it's hard. I think the thing about that is that it's not even attempting to like tell a story or like really be lore. It's like let it slide.
Oh, true.
It's a really fun little cinematic. I don't know, especially for
Yeah.
Nautilus. You know.
Yeah, who doesn't have all that much going on, let's
He
be honest.
doesn't.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we
John
shouldn't be
also
encouraging them.
There's also a Runeterra video as well that John linked to me and Mark that Nautilus is in. It's very
Right.
cool.
Yeah, it's pretty new, so it's not on. I don't think they link any of the Legends of
Runeterra.
Runeterra ones on
think
Universe
this is-
anyway, since those are questionably canon. But...
I think it's a Wild Rift one actually.
Oh, you're
okay.
right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, that's right.
But still, right? It's the same thing. Where
Yeah.
Yeah.
as we ran into with Rise of the Sentinels or whatever. It's,
All right.
Now, what's Nautilus sound like?
Oh, God, I straight up forgot to listen.
I wrote some quotes for you, or if,
I know he sounds like he has a very, very deep voice. I can't wait to hear you do it, John.
what do you mean by that?
you want to hear it done
That
excellently.
sounds-
Yeah.
That sounds like he's in a metal suit. Like there's a lot of effects on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I love Nautilus and like ARAM. I kind of want to try him in SR. I haven't been brave enough to yet, though.
Do it.
Very engagey. He's like not your
I
style.
know,
champ,
it's not my
but
style, but tank champs are so in right now, right? Like
So hot right
they're
now.
so hot right now. All right, let me see some of these quotes. I don't know. How do I do a bubbly deep voice? What's that?
That's an interpretation. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh.
Did Did you see the tongue movement for that
It was
one? Or
so good.
I didn't. The details
glad
aren't
you
good
had
enough.
Mark was spared. The mic was in front of my face. All right, fine, John. You do better.
Sometimes I think this anchor just weighs me down. La-da-dee, la-da-doo, la-da-doo.
I was
so
surprised you didn't
playful.
think of that one, Rebecca, because like
I forgot.
he only does have 10 lines, but his joke is so good. Let me think. He doesn't have his shitty. The rest of his lines are kind of boring. But in Runeterra, he's got one when another Nautilus shows up on the board. He'll say, "My voice is deeper than yours. I disagree."
That's great.
Perfect.
All right, now who is Nautilus? You know, let's get there.
I'm glad you asked. And I'm glad you're going to answer.
Nautilus, whose real name is lost to time, so we will just call him Nautilus.
Mr. Nautilus.
Mr. Nautilus was a normal diver in the Blue Flame Isles. Or is he from Bilgewater, technically?
I think so.
Was he? But this seems it was a very, very long time ago kind of deal. Yeah, anyway. But around the Blue Flame Isles, there were a bunch of ships that sank looking for, I assume, the Blessed Isles. They just say the Blessed Place or whatever.
Yeah, they were off course.
Yeah.
Oh, is it really far away?
It's not close enough that they should have been near the Blue Flame Isle.
Yeah.
They got the wrong directions. They refused to ask for directions. He was like, "No, I know where it is."
They both have Isles in the name. How different could they be?
Oh my god, that'd be really funny if they just like were illiterate. That's why instead Charlie fucking Day was leading the crew. Like, they're islands. Anyway. So there's a bunch of ships there that, you know, were in the water. So a number of crews like kind of go diving to loot from the sunken ships. Nautilus was a free diver because he was a big and beefy man who didn't need a suit to dive. Even though he was the best, he didn't ask for special treatment from his captain, only that his captain toss a coin overboard before they set sail to appease the ocean. Over time, Nautilus and his crew were finding less stuff, and then one day they were bought by a new captain. The new captain came with this big brass suit. He wanted to go after a specific wreck that was like really deep, and Nautilus would need the suit to survive. As he was being locked into it, he realized they hadn't paid the troll toll. But his new captain...
Well, then you can't dive down to the hole.
Gotta pay the troll toll to dive in this deep hole. How many It's Always Sunny references?
I have fucked this episode. You have killed me.
Anyway, the captain just kind of laughed at his face and said they would. We'll do it when you come back. When you come back, Nautilus. And then I wrote dun dun dun.
Right when you finish this last job, right before you retire.
Got a wife and kid waiting for you at home. Anyway, Nautilus went down and eventually something grabbed him. Okay, alright. Sorry, my notes are like really sporadic. So he realized the captain wasn't after a treasure, but some kind of power. Eldritch power, they say. They really like using this word.
Yes.
And then not actually doing anything about it. But anyway.
But I guess it's in Bilgewater. There's a good chance the power had tentacles. We can go with Eldritch.
Sure.
That's all that's all Eldritch means.
Yes.
Tentacles. Anyway, Nautilus tried to escape using the anchor chain to guide his way up, but it snapped and he was pulled down below. When he woke up, he was something different, is how they describe it, and Nautilus vowed to make everyone pay the sea. He never did find his crew again for revenge, so he uses his anchor to destroy other ships instead. There's like a last brief mention that like the person Nautilus was is still kind of there, but drowning, I guess. I don't know.
Sure.
And that's Nautilus.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't imagine him starting off as like a dude. I should have. Like a dude turned evil somehow.
Yeah. Well, he's so damn big. He's just so darn big, right? It's hard to imagine him as just a regular. Even though they say, I'm trying to remember what the phrase is. They say he had lungs that could steal the wind from a galleon's sails or something like that. Like he is, like you said, a big guy. But
Oh, God, that sounded so much like a Bilgewater pickup line. Hey, baby, you want to get with me? I got lungs that could steal air from a galleon sail.
Damn, it blew me over.
He stays down there for a long time. Honestly, I will say that's something I liked about the writing of the bio in general, is there's a lot of lines like that are very like, it's like someone kind of telling you a tale. Like, it's like, oh, it was crimson that dawn or something like that. It says also in another line. I don't know. So it's a little more entertaining to read.
It is. It's a good bio. I liked it. I just I wish there was a mention of how massive he got, because you think that they just said that he had turned into something different. And if you watch, I mean, his size is a little inconsistent in between, I think, like cinematics and stuff. Like the Wild Rift one, like that dude is Godzilla sized.
He's fucking huge. In A New Dawn, he's huge. And I thought maybe like, oh, he's big in A New Dawn, but that's not canon. But yeah, in the Wild Rift one, he's fucking massive. And I've reread the description of him in the Misfortune story too, and
he's huge.
Just as big sounding.
Yeah, like he picks people up, like just in his hand, and they just are like tiny little. They're like the size of his fingies. It looks like
they're like that
naughty fingies.
They're like that Mordekaiser skin. He's giving the thumbs up with a guy.
Oh yeah. They just become his thumb. So I just thought that there would be more mention of that and how he hides. I mean, the ocean is very deep. I get it. But.
I will say them not mentioning that really makes the end of the bio a little weird, because it specifically says that he went to try and find his old crew. He went into Bilgewater looking for information, but then was unable to find any and returned to the sea. Presumably then, he left the sea to find this information. Where the fuck did he go?
I like the idea that like just his massive head popped up and he just like some kid is like fishing at dawn. He's like, I don't know. Okay, and it just like bloop, back down.
It just bubbles back down. I mean, the water display. I kept thinking about the newer Godzilla movie. You know how I actually did like the water displacement of like Godzilla rising, which was really cool. And I'm like, oh yeah, science exists. So I feel like there would be a lot of water displacement if Nautilus were about to like go to shore. You know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I think that maybe they didn't have it in mind when they wrote his bio that he was that giant.
Yeah.
Maybe
they thought of him as huge, but still within human limits of huge.
Yeah.
Although I mean, this isn't his original bio either. So like,
I would be curious.
They had already done A New Dawn.
Yeah.
By the time this bio came out.
Did they? Because that was something I was wondering about. Was like, what were the timestamps on this versus because Pyke had to have. I would imagine they rewrote it because Pyke came out, would be my guess. Or maybe not. I don't know.
They did minor rewrites when Pyke came out, yeah.
To try and separate them out a bit more, I would assume.
Yep.
So.
There was big outcry from the community when Pyke came out and people saw his lore. They're like, what? This is straight up just Nautilus. And they were like, no, it's different. It's different. And then they did like slight rewrites and then like, well, I think there's enough room in our lore for 2 underwater. I forget the word they used, but like undead people looking for revenge.
Yeah, I think that's some of what you see going on is like it's kind of like a spackle job, which we see sometimes where like they came in and changed some things and it would make more sense to just drop that entirely and maybe he's got some vague memory, like just drop the whole vengeance thing in general and because like he doesn't care about taking revenge on anyone anyway. He just does the tithe thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So. Which is the new bit that they put in. He didn't used to care about the tithe or anything like that. That was like him going after people who haven't paid the tithe now is his new thing since he couldn't get revenge on his crew because that's Pyke's things.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Okay. I kind of liked the fact that he had just like he wasn't focused on revenge, actually. He's like, he couldn't find the crew, couldn't find the captain. He's going to fuck up some other greedy captains then. Fuck it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. It puts him in a better place, too, because, like you said, he doesn't have a lot going on, but I feel very satiated from all the Nautilus stuff, because he's just this kind of force of nature, and he works well as one of those kind of champions who's just a legend who shows up sometimes, like an Amumu type almost, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Olivia,
Yeah.
You know?
And it like gives him longevity. There's no like end to his journey. He's always going to be in the ocean, and you better pay your tithe.
There's always going to be cheap assholes. He's never going to be wanting for victims.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be
I
curious.
would just oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. I would be curious because like what it is. I assume it's the void is what they're kind of.
Okay, I was
hinting
actually
at
just
here.
going to say the same thing. Like I am
Yeah.
curious what he encountered. Was it the void? There was no mention of purple.
I actually don't
I don't
know
think it
if
was
it
the
is.
void.
I don't know
think this
either.
might be something more. I don't know. Bilgewater seems to have like a connection to some sort of like weird non-void magic in their leviathans around
Yeah.
the port here that don't seem to show up other places. Like I do get the feeling there may just legitimately be some sort of crazy eldritch power underneath there.
I
Because
mean,
I think in this one and in the last one, it was described more like an inky blackness.
Yes.
I don't think.
Yeah.
it's. Yeah, I mean, you've got Nagagaboros right in that whole space, right? Who is also
yeah.
tentacled out. It's tentacle v tentacle. the rumble and the I don't know something. It's a good question. And also I'll be curious when we get to Pyke because I think Pyke has some connection to that weird sort of other intelligence. Like I think they call it sometimes like the beasts below or something like that he seems to kind of answer
yeah.
to. It would kind of make sense if that and the bearded lady, because I think the bearded lady is kind of supposed to be an interpretation of Nagagaboros as well. So that would be kind of my
Right.
guess, right?
And I think the Sea Witch from Graves and TF was more along the Beasts Below group.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's interesting because in Legends of Runeterra, he's got he's in Runeterra. He's got some support cards, and most of them don't matter. But one of them is this fish called the Abyssal Eye, and it's got a big ass eye in its forehead, which is kind of voidy, but also kind of like that Sea Witch. And he seems to have some connection to that thing. So maybe that's what's going on there, which I like. That's neat. That's a neat thing to do. Having this weird, dark sort of power thing that's not just complete unmake all reality evil void, but has its own interest. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. It doesn't even seem to be, in general, like, interested in causing problems for anyone that doesn't go near it.
Yeah, honestly.
Just like leave us to our own shit. Don't send weird ass divers down, and we won't corrupt them and turn them into giant titans. We'll be cool.
Tip 15%. It's
I wonder what the captain had heard about that place or what he thought was there that he could get for himself by
That's a good
sending
question.
someone else down there. I don't know.
I think it's interesting because the idea that he's from a foreign land, right? He's got this mechanical thing. I wondered it. I was like, man, what if he's like from Piltover or Zon? And then consider in Victor's lore, which we kind of know from Jace, that Victor's whole thing was building like these crazy diving suit situations. Maybe he's like someone who got a hold of like a Zonite who got a hold of Victor's plans and put his own twist on it and went out to Bilgewater or something like that. That could be something you could do with him. I don't know.
do like the idea that he'd be from Piltover or something. It would explain why Nautilus never found him too. If the guy just dipped immediately.
Yeah.
Right? And also kind of like explain a bit of the hubris in the face of a natural danger, because I feel like they're very big on like, we can control it through science.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of them have encountered the type of magic that is found elsewhere in the world.
Yeah,
Because
honestly,
even their magic is science.
Yeah.
exactly. I like it. It does make me also curious, like what was happening if you didn't pay the tithe before Nautilus? Was it just more of like a natural disaster type situation? Because now he's without before him, right?
I think it was honestly maybe nothing is kind of how I interpret it. Nothing really bad
Interesting.
happened. He was just very superstitious. And to him, he blamed what happened to him on the fact that his captain didn't pay the tithe.
Sure.
And now he's convinced that there is meaning behind it. But I honestly don't think
will
there
be
might
the
be.
meaning.
Maybe there is.
I kind of like it
But-
because it's like a not self-fulfilling prophecy, but there now is meaning because he has kind of assigned it
Yeah.
and been put in a position to. Yeah, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
By the way, we didn't mention it, I don't think, but the bio is by Ariel Lawrence.
Oh, yeah. it was
Oh,
not
okay,
credited.
cool, nice. Not credited on the. Well, I don't even know why I say it. They don't ever do it. I just feel like the need to call it out sometimes, right?
I know.
Yeah, pretty good. I like it. Like I said, it's actually kind of a fun read. Like there's a little bit of a flair to it more than some other bios,
Alrighty.
All right. So we want to do what do we want to do next? Lars's story.
Sir Lars.
what's it called? What's the name of it?
Ophidian, I think.
Ophidian, yeah. I you said it just earlier, and I couldn't this words. I can never get it in my brain.
This was by Anthony Reynolds Lene.
Yeah, I saw that. But yeah, so I mean, like Rebecca said, this is, I think Fizz had one of these too, where they did a series of sort of almost little audio plays. Is that a way to describe it?
Yeah.
Sure. Monologues. With this character, in-universe character, Lars, talking to the listener as if they're in like a tavern in Bilgewater and telling tales about Bilgewater, right? And he's telling about how he had sailed aboard the Ophidian and they were coming back with some catch, some haul, and their captain said he paid the tithe, but no one's seen him done it. And he was a well-known tight-fisted miser, which, there's a lot of... for how fucked up you get for not paying the tithe, there is a lot of greedy motherfuckers in Bilgewater. I guess that's just the way it is. But they're sailing back, and then lo and behold, Nautilus, he did not pay the tithe. Nautilus comes up, just fucks up the ship. He's all big. And it's almost like an echo of what happens in Den the Water, where Lars has the captain is like, you did not pay the tithe, and he throws him kind of down like this like slanted like deck of the ship into Nautilus's hand, and he just kind of closes his fist around him and sinks back down, and Lars manages to survive and escape, maybe the captain being the tithe that he was able to pay, but Lars survives, and his advice is, don't ever trust a captain who says they paid the tithe unless you've seen them do it. I think that's mostly it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am curious, one, how Nautilus knows when someone doesn't pay a tithe. But also, he seems more lenient sometimes than others.
I have a note about that. Like,
because the captain in the Misfortune story,
right,
he was
never
notorious.
paid it.
He never paid the tithe. And he was a pirate for many, many years, seemingly. And he eventually gets punished. And that, to me, is more realistic, that you have, like, a history of not paying the tithe. But I don't know. Maybe it is just that it depends on how close Nautilus is at the time.
Sure.
What's even worse in this circumstance is we do find out that the captain did pay the tithe.
You're right.
This is tied to that Fizz story, the Lucky Kraken, where we find out that Fizz actually stole the tithe that the captain paid, which caused the entire thing. And then he also tracked down the one dude who survived and just tormented him with pranks until on the final night of pranks he left the Kraken there to let him know that his captain had paid the tithe like an asshole.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yeah. I do like that connection, although, I mean, I still maintain that Fizz doesn't know what he's doing. He still just
No, I don't think he does either.
But that is neat. It's a nice little twist on it. Maybe it's like a 3 strikes situation. Although you're right, the Misfortune story, it's like he was known for never paying the tithe. Maybe this captain even did. I don't know. It's a good question. The bureaucracy of Bilgewater is not like super airtight. It's not watertight.
Hey.
Nautilus he has days, he has his day. He was having a day then and didn't see Fizz take it.
It's like the worst IRS auditor in the world. Like,
oh my god,
file your returns this year.
Meanwhile, letting some corporation get away with their tax dodging.
Yeah. Some offshore. Oh man. But yeah,
fucking
I liked
shoreocracy.
Oh my god, John.
Yeah, I liked the audio bit a lot. It's really well done. I would like to find. I still haven't found who it is that's doing the audio play, like who's doing the voice work. But if I could find them, I would give them a double human thumbs up. Right? 'Cause it's good. It's the better way to consume the story for sure. Right? There's no reason to read it as opposed to unless you need to. I guess I don't know.
Well, I read it first before realizing there was
Oh, really? I looked at it and I was like, I'm pretty sure this is the same thing, so I'm just going to listen to it. And then
I didn't
read
even
through it.
look at it. I hit play on the video and I was like, this video is 6 minutes long. Why is it 6 minutes long? And then I realized that it was...
I will say maybe it was listening to that video, or maybe the first line of the bio was just written like this, but like the first line of the bio specifically definitely reads like it was written to be read by a sailor.
Yeah,
It was, to understand the legend of Nautilus, one must first know the man. For even the tallest of tavern tales agree he was indeed a man.
Yeah, I want Lars to read that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, spoiler alert, I think he's dead by the end of it all.
That was from the Pyke one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, did Pyke get him?
Yeah.
I think I listened to all
Bad
these
luck.
way back when they got released originally.
Poor Lars.
Yeah. Rip.
I feel like with Nautilus doing his work too, there's got to be so many shipwrecks first of all, but also just so much gold, like right off the shore of Bilgewater. Like you don't even need to go into a boat to go diving. Like you could just like put on one of those metal suits so the sharks don't get you, and just dive off, and you're probably rich.
What happens
maybe.
if you take those? Does Nautilus still come for you? I mean, just go inside the city. He doesn't seem to leave the water.
Except
For that one time.
And Bilgewater forgot somehow. The Godzilla-like Titan.
They have so much shit happening, no one can keep track. There was a harrowing, and he's like, "Hello, is there
It's
anyone here?"
harrowing that it happened. That would be great if he only came out on land during harrowings. But could you imagine? You're already dealing with the harrowing.
He did actually, in old lore, he fought off the harrowing once.
Oh shit!
Yeah. My man Nautilus. Vested interest in something or other. I don't know. I would like to see him fight ghosts. I don't know. He's kind of cool in general. I'd like to see him fight anything.
Do you want to see him fucking bare knuckle box a ghost?
Let's use that big anchor.
He swings it around. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man.
That is scary.
Yeah, I don't have much else for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last story was Dead in the Water by Graham McNeil.
Yeah, this is a really long one we went over with Misfortune.
Yeah, so just the Nautilus bits, because I mean, I guess the high level thing, captain get together, all the captains went out. Oh, it was a betrayal, and the captain who betrayed them all didn't pay the tithe, and Nautilus comes to get him. A few things about this one. He was specifically referred to in this story as a drowned tally man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which confused me a little bit because the name would almost kind of imply that he was a tally man before he was drowned.
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah.
Whereas, he's a tally man now, for sure. But now he's not drowned anymore. Now he's big metal tally man.
Is that just like a writing thing? Do you think that's just supposed to be like in universe there's different, thoughts or origins that have been assigned to him?
It would make sense because I bet a bunch of people wouldn't remember him. So they're like, oh, he collects tithes now. He must have collected tithes back in the day too.
Sure.
They thought he was really a tax collector in
Yeah.
water, and then he drowned. That's probably why they drowned him.
I also liked, there's a line here that says, a tidal wave made stagnant and rotten by its time in the darkness washed over the ship as the anchor cracked into the deck. Which kind of implies that Nautilus travels with his own water from deep below, kind of like a metallic Nami.
Sure.
With its own water circling him at all times, which is gross and awesome.
Yeah, I kind of like that. That's pretty cool. Or he's just got this aura that just kind of naturally sort of taints the water around him. He's got some
Stanks
of
up the water.
He got
good
poo-poo water
deep
all around
taint.
him.
I do love the visual because the fact that he's walking around with an anchor. You imagine an anchor and we think about tiny decorative ones, but a real anchor is a fucking massive piece of metal. And it must be you're on a ship and an anchor comes up from the water and lands on the ship. That's horrifying.
Mm-hmm. That's why it's so effective as a
Yeah.
visual. That's why they use it so much. It's that anchor just coming out of nothing. It's just like, what the fuck? Right?
Yeah.
And presumably it's an anchor that has also been grown to match Nautilus's new size, so it's even bigger than you would probably expect a normal anchor to be.
I don't know, because I think some anchors are honestly that fucking massive, yeah? If the boat's big enough? I don't know anything about fucking ships, I'm sorry.
I like the idea of him having a little tiny baby anchor. He just holds it like
Dink!
a little cocktail toothpick,
He's got one of those too. That's around his neck.
But I feel like in all the art that's depicted with him, the anchor is almost the size of
It's like
him.
ship
in
size.
most
That's
of it.
true. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's got such a cool design in general. I do think he's so
Yeah.
like unique. I mean, it's a simple idea, obviously Big Daddies, is a massive inspiration, but that was so distinct because that's also a really cool thing to make into a monster, right? It's like you don't see a lot of it. I guess I'd say.
Yeah.
But yeah,
What's
yeah.
scarier, a drill or an anchor?
The
I guess if
drill.
it's that big.
Depends. Am I on land? If I'm on land, I'm more worried about the drill, I guess.
Yeah. I think in all situations, I'm more worried about a drill being drilled into me. I don't know. I got drill.
Seems like a
phobia.
slower way to go than an anchor falling on me.
Sure, right? That's like Looney Tunes. But yeah, his depiction in this story specifically is really cool. They really capture that size even more so than like the previous one. Like that's like the appetizer to the. He does the same shit, right? He just comes and fucks up a ship, but the descriptions really paint a very vivid image, and like it's talking about like him cracking like the. I don't know what the word is for it, but like kind of cracking the ship in half, like kind of breaking its spine almost is like it's very impressive. You feel the weight of him in the way he's described here.
Yeah.
'Twas cool.
Yeah.
It was cool. But that's mostly what he's got for canon.
Yeah, there's he does show up a little bit in there's one journal entry about him in the Ruined King video game.
Oh.
Oh, I vaguely remember it, but I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, it's called the Terror Hook, and it's kind of the same thing. It describes Nautilus destroying a group of 4 ships that are coming back to port in Bilgewater, which also raises a few questions to me. Because instead they like left to a different land and they were coming back to Bilgewater. Like, does he only collect tithes in Bilgewater? Does he ever like venture outside of Bilgewater to collect tithes? It would seem weird to do so because it would seem like people from other regions wouldn't know that they're supposed to pay the tithes. But that's kind of what seems like happened here. A ship left from a port outside of Bilgewater, entered Bilgewater water, and got fucked for not paying the tithe.
Oh, maybe it's supposed to be when you enter Bilgewater's area,
Yeah.
wherever the bearded lady
Right.
reigns.
You gotta when you cross the border, you gotta. Yeah, I mean, I like that idea. I like him being localized because it makes sense that he's being driven by
Yeah.
whatever Naga Kaporos is, and maybe that's what I like that because it also gives like characters in universe an incentive to like hire on Bilgewater like guides or navigators, like people who know the waters. And it could just be like, oh, it's really treacherous. We lost 4 ships last year. And they're like, oh, no, you need to pay this tithe. And the foreign captains would have no idea, right? It's like, I like it.
Just throw one coin over each and you're fine.
Right? That's the thing, too. Is like, really? You couldn't pay the tithe? You couldn't give one fucking coin? Like, really?
They don't even say what kind of coin. I think it'd be like a penny.
I think they say a gold kraken is what most of them
okay.
pay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking
Which I
like,
don't know
if
what the
you-
relative value of that is, but
it's just 1 gold, whatever. It's the same everywhere. I have to imagine. Who knows?
Or a weapon in Miss Fortune's case. That was her tithe one time, right?
That's true. Do you think like you can
worth
build
at
up
least
credit?
1 gold kraken.
Like if you pay a lot one time, you can skimp the next time.
You're just good for a little while.
You get a
Better
punch
keep good
card.
track of that.
Yeah.
Get a smoothie now. You paid 10 in a row. Nautilus comes up with some Subway. Subway. Yeah, that's good.
Hey.
I guess the Wild Rift cinematic is probably canon too, right? Because he's doing the exact same shit as he's doing here, right? He's coming up from the deep to get some tithe, right? Like, I would be
Yeah.
It
surprised.
seems like,
Yeah. Which I guess is a summary of it. There's a
Yeah, this poor kid getting targeted by Pyke and Nautilus simultaneously.
Well, the Pyke was just incidental, but so it's got like this deckhand, and Pyke shows up to kill his captain. Then the deckhand, I'm sure, was not on the list, but kind of scares himself over the side of the ship, and then as he is kind of the whole thing is centered around his like coin purse. I said
Coin purse, yeah.
And as it's like sinking down, he's chasing after, and Nautilus is. I do like that Nautilus' hook again coming out of the deep and kind of not destroying the ship, but just coming around to hook this little This little kid, this kid.
Tiny.
But before Nautilus,
So unnecessary.
yeah, and before Nautilus can kind of grab him with his hand, the purse like slips open and the coins spill in Nautilus's hand, which I guess counts as paying the tithe, right? Accidentally. So the kid gets back up fine.
Yeah, he kind of like it wakes up. It looks like it was almost a dream, but his coin purse is empty.
Mm.
Wonder if Pyke saved him.
I like the idea that
Dived in
Nautilus
after
did.
him.
Like a big hand just deposits him.
I like the idea that he used his hook again, but instead of like hooking him down, he like threw his hook into him to push him back up to the surface and onto the boat.
So he broke his spine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, oops.
Dies of internal bleeding. Yeah,
When your only tool is an anchor,
everything looks like
the world looks like an ocean floor. I don't know.
But he's
It's a
cool
cool
in this
visual,
one.
though. Yeah, Nautilus is gigantic, and the last shot is Nautilus just walking on the ocean right beneath the ship. Which, again, I think there would be some water displacement here.
That kind of happens in the Misfortune story. There is like a wave that kind of seems to precede him, like a surge, which I do like. That's cool. But yeah, that shot of like his hand kind of reaching up, and there's like the guy's so little in comparison. Those are
so
cool.
tiny.
Right, that's like those types of shots. Those are cool.
And seeing the face, like he just kind of sees the lights of Nautilus's head first,
Yeah.
and just like, well, I'm fucked.
Damn it.
Oy. That captain man, though, he pissed off Pyke and didn't pay a tithe.
Right? When you
Right.
new to Bilgewater?
I don't know how you piss off Pyke, but don't piss off the two sea ghosts.
You get on his imaginary list.
Right.
Okay.
And Fizz was there too, but you didn't really see him. He was just he's sneaking around.
He was stealing all the gold that Nautilus
Right.
just got.
Oh man.
Now, Nautilus does show up in two other cinematics. One we talked about, A New Dawn, where, as we mentioned, he's just this massive raid boss for everyone else. Basically, he gets introduced by one-shotting Jax with a single Q, and then he W's the entire battlefield at once and almost kills Ari. And then Graves comes in and hits him, so he fucking Qs Graves too and almost kills him in one hit. And then
This feels like just a game of
I think that's
League.
just his auto.
and then Graves tries to sacrifice himself with an end of the line, and Nautilus throws out a Q to some terrain to try and pull himself out of range, shields himself, but doesn't do it fast enough, and Gun gets crushed.
I like that they have him try to queue out and not do it, because anyone who's watching that and doesn't know what Nautilus does has no idea what the fuck he's doing, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Right?
And we've all tried to, like, look really cool, getting at a fountain, try to land your anchor on the Nexus, and you just fucking whiff it.
Bunch of question
Well,
mark memes.
fun fact about Nautilus hitbox, by the way. It is much narrower for terrain than it is
Yeah.
for characters.
You gotta hit it
Which is
right
why
in
you
the
can
middle.
which is why you can sneak around terrain sometimes and hit people trying to hide behind it.
I like it. Nice. Yeah, he looks really good in here. I think I distinctly remember like seeing this, and I guess Cho'Gath maybe in the initial trailer is kind of depicted as being real big, and Baron Nashor is kind of big, but this was like maybe one of the first times I remember of characters who were shown in game in one way and then depicted in like a piece of media as being massively scaled to a different size,
Yeah.
which is cool.
It was very cool.
Yeah, big boy.
Yeah. Only other place he showed up, and he's just in it. He was also in the Make History cinematic, the same one that Morgana was in. In fact, he shows up right at the same time of the cinematic when the announcer says, "Victors bind their enemies in darkness," with a picture of Morgana, and I guess with Nod it is also fitting, because, he also brings people down to darkness, so...
And CC's them for 8 million
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is, that's current Nod. Now we
Yeah.
have some old lore here for him.
In which he's Pyke.
Yeah.
Basically. So his old lore, Nautilus was a sailor commissioned by the Institute of War
Oh my.
to explore the uncharted reaches of the Guardian's Sea. When they got there, instead of water, it was this creepy, inky black goo stuff. And the only one that was actually brave enough to investigate was Nautilus, who was immediately pulled in. So he clung to the edge of his ship, for dear life. But the crew feared he'd bring them down too, so they wrenched his grip free, and he was pulled down to the bottom of the ocean. Now, he doesn't collect tithes in the old lore or take down ships. He was just looking for answers about the people who betrayed him. So he goes to the Institute of War, since they're the people who sent the mission out first, and he's like, yo, tell me who else was in the crew so I can get him, because he doesn't remember real great. But they're like, nah. So then he joins the
Word for
Oh,
League
word.
of Legends. And because he thinks it'll help him with his investigation.
Sure. Because crew members just randomly show up.
They really had to stretch some why people join the League before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Morgana wanting revenge on Kale. Like, you can't kill her there.
The one place you can't.
Yeah.
And as mentioned, he also shows up in that short story, First Light After the Harrowing, which is a written account of all the previous harrowings in Bilgewater, where we find out during the second harrowing that Nautilus fought back against the Black Mist.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
those are the stories.
Yeah. He doesn't have a lot going on, and he does a lot of the same stuff in all of them. But I still found it all entertaining, and I was
Effective. It's
pretty
effective.
satisfied.
Yeah. He doesn't need to have, like, some goal or life lesson or anything like that. He's just a terrifying thing that the Bilgewater people have to deal with. Another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it on the list. Yeah, he's a nice force of nature.
Yeah.
Now, as we get into the quotes for Nautilus,
Okay. I'm curious about this game since he apparently has no quotes.
I have put together a little game for us.
Okay.
And yes, this one maybe is cheating a little bit.
Oh.
Okay.
You're going to have to tell me whether this is Pyke or Nautilus.
Okay.
I've literally never played Pyke, so I'm not going to have any references for his quotes.
And as we mentioned, Nautilus really does not have a lot of quotes. So since Mark has more recently gone through them, he will be answering second for all of these.
Sure.
Because Mark did his homework and I never did.
I will have vengeance.
Here's the thing. Did they update Nautilus's quotes after they changed his lore? I'm going to say that's Nautilus because I'm going to assume that they didn't update his VO.
I'm gonna guess Pyke.
That one is Nautilus,
Hell
actually.
yeah.
See, you can't, it's just a sin.
I don't
It
think
just
he's
falls
gotten
out
any, like, updates, yeah?
I am the deep.
I'm going to say Nautilus again. It's so boring.
That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
That one is Pyke.
Damn it.
Sink them all.
Pyke.
I think Pyke on that one.
That one is Pyke.
Okay. I needed one. I needed to get one of these right.
You got one. You got one.
Left to die.
Nautilus?
Oh man, I want to say Nautilus too.
That one is Nautilus.
Yeah.
Let the water drag you under.
Pyke?
I want to guess Pyke too.
That is Pyke.
Okay.
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 I'm still lost at sea.
Aww. That's both of them. They both say it. Pyke?
I was gonna guess. Yeah, I was gonna guess Pyke too on this one actually.
That is Pyke.
Yeah.
That was too many words for Nautilus. I feel like his quotes are short.
You are in the deep end now.
I'm gonna say Pyke again.
That's Nautilus. That one I do know.
Same.
Oh, that's Nautilus.
I was gonna say same reasoning. Too many words.
No. It's just
I think that's
That one
his
is
taunt.
Nautilus.
Yeah.
okay.
Drag them down.
I don't know. Drag them down. Nautilus. These could just be either of them.
Are you like counting out the syllables?
No.
Drag. I'm pretty sure that's Nautilus.
That one is Nautilus. Yeah. Find the guilty.
Pyke.
Ooh, man. I'll guess Nautilus.
That one is Nautilus.
Oh, shit.
And as the final one, which I don't think is gonna fool anyone, sink like an anchor, float like rum.
Float like rum? That's Graves.
I like the Graves guess. I'll go with Gangplank. That's a... I'm pretty sure
that one
that's
is Pyke.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's Pyke.
Too verbose for Nautilus.
That's true. He doesn't even know what rum is.
Good job, everyone.
Well done.
Thanks.
I don't know who won. I wasn't keeping any sort of track.
We both won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone wins.
Yeah.
Everybody wins when you have fun with friends.
All right.
But yes, you are right. They did not update any of his quotes when his lore got updated.
Oh,
There's a lot of references to guilty and
I guess guilty could still apply, and that's what they're thinking, but yeah, that first one.
and being left.
I mean, he still was left, I guess.
I guess.
They didn't cut the anchor. It came off.
Yeah.
Sure.
But they sent him down there and then dipped.
Yeah. Well, you know
I
what?
like to think of myself as a good person. If I go out on a ship and then we send this massive dude down who's known for free diving and he's in this massive suit and then like something grabs him that's so big that he hangs onto the anchor and the anchor gets ripped off the ship, I'm dipping. Sorry, I'm out.
All right, but just know that like you're in bilge water, so you're fucked.
That's right. I'll
Sorry.
pay gold kraken. We're good.
You know, well,
Yeah,
I
he's
guess
much cheaper than Pyke for his revenge.
that's true. I guess something I noticed is that I couldn't find the voice actor for his original VO.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, so and they have a different person for Runeterra, so maybe I don't know. I'm curious when we get to some of these champions, like older ones where the voice actor isn't credited. Like, what's the deal? You know, and like, could they not get them again? Would they never? Do they even not know? They're like, oh, we've got some guy to come in.
My guess for a lot of those is because I feel like it was a pretty small company at the time. It was probably a lot of non-union voice actors that were
That's a
just
good
people
guess.
that they came in to do it for a few hours and for legal reasons probably can't give them credit now.
Sure, yeah, that's
They were
probably
like
a good
friends
guess.
of friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nautilus voice actor, if you're out there, and I know you are, let us know.
And that was my impression. Was it good?
Y'all ready for some AUs?
Yeah.
I am.
Got on the AUs already.
Mm-hmm.
It's so nice after Morgana.
Now, first one up is Forgotten Depths, where each skin bio represents a legend of the deep, similar to the Tall Tales of the Deep Sea. And this one is Abyssal Nautilus, and I will be reading it in the pirate voice that it clearly was meant to be said in.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Never once have I sailed these waters, looking for missing divers. Something unnatural lives in the depths, and I fear what it does to those lost souls.
So wait, this is just. Wait, is this? What's the difference between this and regular Nautilus?
Yes.
Okay.
His suit's
Thank
a little
you.
different looking. In this AU, the captain had a slightly different looking
He
suit.
had more of an Art Nouveau feel, you know.
Yeah. This is the Bioshock Nautilus.
Next up, we got astronauts. Set in an alternate Runeterra, each champion is an astronaut. And I like this because this is an example of a skin where the name 100% came first, and they just came up with the skin to go around it.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
So this is Astronautalis. And in fact, this was a fan skin. A fan came up with this and then drew the artwork, and then it got real popular on Reddit, and then they turned it into a skin.
That's cool.
And this universe, by the way, is connected to the Odyssey universe, since a Odyssey Jinx doll can be seen in the background of Astronaut Nar and Astronaut Poppy's splash art. A spaceship resembling the Morning Star can be seen in the background of Astronaut Bard's splash art, and numerous meeps can be seen in the recall animation of several Odyssey skins. And Odyssey Twisted Fate is holding a container with an Astronaut Bard alien meep. And the lore for Astronautalis is, in space, the anchor weighs practically nothing.
Oh my god.
Got me.
Next up is Marauders versus Wardens, set in an alternate Runeterra where each champion is fighting on the Summoner's Rift. This is Warden Nautilus. Shock troopers such as Nautilus bound their souls to suits of ancient Warden armor, becoming one with the powerful enchantments worked into the metal. Few of these suits now remain, though their method of creation seems to have been closely tied to a cataclysmic event known only as the Rune War.
That's a neat idea.
Never see this skin.
Yeah, I Astronautalis or like the drill one, I think, get a lot of play. But I like that idea.
He's got a lot of skins.
The whole binding the souls thing to the armor is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a dreadnought from 40K.
Yeah, exactly. Or like a Full Metal Alchemist type deal.
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
Next up, we got Shanghai Scrolls, set in a world where champions are mythological creatures within the mysterious Shanghai Scrolls. And this one is Shanghai Scroll Nautilus, a guardian who helped seal the mad god Jin within a holy waterfall, as depicted within the mysterious painting known as the Shanghai Scrolls. Over the millennia, Jin has whispered of power, freedom, and true godhood to Nautilus, until he finally released him. Now, twisted with anger, Nautilus's rivers run not with water, but molten magma.
Oh, magma.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I did the Austin Powers reference that time.
Don't ever apologize for Austin Powers references.
Yeah.
I
don't get the reference. I'm too young.
Shut up. Stop stealing my joke. That's my joke. I feel like I used to say that a lot. My sister and I used to think that was liquid hot magma. I don't know why we used to think that was so funny. It still is.
Yeah, it's making me giggle.
I'm not ashamed to say it.
I'm sorry.
Last up, we got Worldbreaker.
Okay.
In the end, the moon will smother the sun, and in that hopeless dawn, 4 titans will rise to shatter the world itself. This is Worldbreaker Nautilus, who is the first titan. The first of 4 titans prophesied to shatter the world. Nautilus is set to rise when the moon smothers the sun. It is said he will emerge from the sea, heralding a great cleansing tide that will wash away all of mankind. And this has a little Legends of Runeterra flavor text, too. When the moon smothers the sun, a creature of the deep will rise, surging forth with the tide, and he shall be called Nautilus, first of the titans, a harbinger of unholy titans to come.
Cool.
Yeah, and then there's a little short story called Prophecy of the World Breakers, which basically just says the same thing.
I've never seen this skin either. Who is that with him in the splash? Am I fucking high? Sometimes a
I
skin.
think that's Trundle.
Oh, sometimes a skin I can't quite tell who somebody is when they look a
Yeah.
little too different.
Yeah. I like the aesthetic on this one. These ones are also pretty cool. The whole kind of like
Yeah.
Aztec Mayan type situation.
Yeah.
You can really see their size in that one.
Oh, yeah, they real big.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the AUs.
Damn.
And they have a handful of fun facts, too.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Current Nautilus is voiced by Richard Newman.
So
like
that's
Legends
the
of Runeterra.
Nautilus. Okay.
Yeah. Nautilus's dance is the peeperoonie.
The what?
Now, if you're unfamiliar with the
I am
peeperoonie,
unfamiliar with the peeperoonie.
you can see a side-by-side a side-by-side video of not doing it alongside, I feel like, the most known recording of it, Captain Charisma from the WWE performing the peeperoonie in the ring.
Man, you said a lot of words.
Peeperoonie, rather.
It sounds like the name of like a creepy 80s teen comedy, and they're like all peeping in on girls in the locker room, and it's called Peeperoonie.
Yes. Pepperoni 2, back to school.
They all get pepperoni pizza and peep on girls in the locker
Porno
room.
version of Mystic Pizza. Yeah, I'm liking it.
What is the dance? Where does it originate from?
Oh.
Okay.
Captain Charisma, or
I'm just too young. I don't know.
Who knows?
You might be.
I might be too old.
In Nautilus's art spotlight, you can see a tab for Ergot Mech.
How do you spell peeperoonie?
Peepearonie.
I stopped listening. I'm sorry.
I'm not going to spell it again. I have no reason to believe you won't stop listening again.
I was trying to like guess.
When I looked it up to try and find other people doing it, it was the only video I could find of it being done.
It was just dicks and sausage left and right all over the place.
There's a YouTube video explaining Nautilus. All right, go ahead. You can keep going with the fun facts.
I will say...
Did you hear the Ergot Mech one?
No.
I feel like you were
I was really Googling peeperoonie, and then pepperoni came up.
And then I just got hungry.
Kinda.
Yeah, in the Nautilus's art spotlight, you can see a tab for Ergot Mech that they forgot to close when they were showing off the spotlight.
God. When we get done with all this, I want to go through and count how many times they leaked shit through the art spotlights.
I think it is just the wrestler.
Interesting.
An original by Captain Charisma himself.
Possibly, whoever the hell that is.
You don't remember Captain Charisma?
Okay, there's a Reddit asking, what's peeperoonie? I'm German and I don't understand what peeperoonie means. Can somebody explain it?
Oh, that's the video, by the way.
Booker T's dance is in the spinaroonie.
We are,
Christian used to call his fans peeps, so he decided to add peep to Booker T's spinaroonie dance to make it peeperoonie. You're welcome. I don't know who Christian
is
Booker...
Captain Charisma.
Okay, who's Booker T?
Booker T's a different wrestler.
wow, we're getting into like some WWE lore.
Yeah, right? Someone's a huge fan of WWE right now, and
They're just tearing their hair out like these fucking
I
idiots.
didn't know this. Sorry, beyond like The Rock and Hulk Hogan, I don't know any wrestlers.
But Stone Cold Steve Austin. Wow, Gold Dust. Sorry, I'll stop naming wrestlers.
Okay. More fun facts.
Yeah, sorry. You said Hulk Hogan, I immediately thought of the Three Ninjas movie.
High Noon at Mega Mountain. It's a great one. I highly recommend it.
Now, it may be the lowest rated, but it's the highest in our heart.
Lowest rated often means better to watch.
Nautilus has the longest basic attack animation in-game. Longest in time for the attack, not, distance.
Range, yeah.
Which
take forever.
results in enemies being rooted by his passive staggering blow after visibly getting out of range of his auto attack.
Yeah, Nautilus's hitbox are horse shit, dude.
I love it.
Gotta play him. Gotta take advantage of it.
Someone using their little dash, and it's like, the wind-up's going, friend.
I was a quarter of the way done with the hit, and you're gonna get rooted.
If you idle too long with Captain Morgan, or with Nautilus...
What?
was going to spoil this fun fact a little bit. If you idle too long with Nautilus, he does the Captain Morgan pose.
Yeah, I love it.
Out of universe, Nautilus is also the name of a mollusk taxonomic family, the submarine from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne, and the name of the first nuclear-powered submarine. So, now you know that.
Sure, yeah.
Nautilus and Ziggs were first conceived as Ivan the Mad Bomber. It was kind of a combination of the two of them.
Huh. I want to see what that champion looks like, who's Ziggs
Right?
and Nautilus. I can
Some
see.
little Ziggs in that big suit.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I could see where maybe he like it's like a Master Blaster type situation. That could be fun too.
Yeah. Or like an underwater explosion expert.
Sure. There's a lot of places you could go with it, frankly.
And final fun fact. During Nautilus's joke, which is the quote that I had at the beginning of the episode, when he's swimming through the air and humming that tune, that is the same tune that Squidward hums to himself in the shower in the SpongeBob movie.
Oh,
Damn.
Jesus.
What a ref.
Right? I was like, I thought I knew SpongeBob pretty well, but the movie. not
No, the
as
movie
well.
I don't as much. I have a fun fact.
Ooh.
So if you go and look up Nautilus Reef Project, what you will see is that in 2016, I think, Riot, or maybe just Riot Oceania, I don't know exactly how to say that, sorry. But, you know, Riot will sometimes do those, like, social impact type things. For Ocean Week, they put together, I don't know if you remember this, they put together a big
I do,
artificial
yeah.
reef that's a statue of, like, Nautilus, and they put it down in, I assume somewhere off the coast of Australia, I'm pretty sure is where they put it.
Yeah, it was where there was a bunch of the reefs down there were, dying because of all the shit. So, this,
Sorry.
yeah, this helped stimulate a bunch of reef growth, and it looks crazy now. Like
Yeah.
it's fully grown in there now.
I was gonna say, if you're near that ocean, you gotta pay the tithe.
I was reading a Reddit thread because I found one to see like what the progress has looked like, even like pretty recent, and someone was saying they went down and scuba dove for 7 hours and were able to find it, like in person. But I hope they pay the tithe, like you said.
Yeah. Also, I think actually in our Discord, in the Get to Know the Loreheads channel, there is actually, we posted a link to more about that project too.
Yeah, I think they had a whole microsite or something for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, very cool thing. Again, weird little. I think when Riot does stuff like that, it's always like some of the best stuff that they. It's like the stuff I hold up as like, oh, that's a riotous thing to do. I guess I would say like it's a cool thing to put in place, and I think it also has like a little engraving of all like the names of. I don't know who was involved exactly. Like I know there's Senpai written all over it, so I assume it's like usernames or something like that. But also very cool.
I think they
I don't know how they funded it. I'll be honest with you. I assumed it was through sales of something, but it could be something else.
So, or like donations, and the names are all the people who had donated, and then Riot like matched the donations of anything like that or something like that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Nautilus Reef Project, 2016. Good shit.
Yeah.
Don't actually pay the tithe, please. Please don't throw garbage.
Oh no. You know what? You pay it to some sort of conservationist fund. That's the tithe.
Yeah.
I only pay with credit card nowadays. I'm just gonna toss my plastic over the board.
A massive credit card machine onto the deck. I love it.
All right. Any final thoughts on Nautilus?
Nah, he's cool.
Yeah, he pretty chill.
All right. Well, that was Nautilus. Thank you for listening. We stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/loreheads. By the time this episode comes out, we might be like on our last stream or very close to until we go on baby leave, whatever you want to call it.
Baby leave is good.
Baby.
Like
Generally, we stream League on Saturdays, and John does TFT on Mondays. He'll probably be back before I am, so we'll kind of see how all that runs. But to keep up with all that news, we're on Twitter. It's at Loreheads, and we have a Discord. It's linked in the description of this episode, and it's pinned on the Twitter. We post these on YouTube, and John has some fun parodies there. And we have a Patreon. Thank you so much to all of our patrons. John is super not ready for this.
Close my desktop. You're just
La-da-dee,
gonna cut out, like, 10 minutes of dead air.
la-da-dee. I want that to be any
do it
elevator
in-
music here for the rest of my life.
That should be in Riot's elevator music. You know, do they have elevators? Probably.
Surely.
I don't think the new campus does, right?
If there's any stairs, they would legally have elevators, I think.
Oh, it does
Yeah.
have stairs, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I think they
The old
do.
one had a lot of stairs and
Yeah.
elevators.
So, but yeah, Nautilus is good.
Big anchor boy.
Big, yeah.
Great. Do you think he sings? Do you think he really likes the song "Anchors Away"? That was my school fight song, so that's how I know that one.
And a very special thank you to our Medarda tier and all chat tier patrons: Chloe, Great Scott 9, King of Hearts, Mylect, Rel, Shupa Mustache. The Void event is here! Maybe. Thank you all so much. If you forgot to pay your tithe, I'd pay it for you.
Oh. However, if you were dragged,
I would let you.
he would just drag
I
the
would.
ball away.
I'm sorry. But I would pay your tithe.
You Venmo.
So
Venmo your tithe. What would you put for the, description of what you were doing? You know, in Venmo, don't you put a little description or an emote? Yours are always silly.
Do they have a scary anchor man?
Paying the troll toll
Troll
for that
toll,
deep
yeah.
hole.
Yes.
I put an emoticon of a lady with the beard thing
Okay,
too.
bearded lady.
Yeah, that's a good
great.
one.
Thanks.
And join us next week because we're going to talk about the curious chameleon Nico.